Hello, everyone. It has been too long, but I'm super happy to be back with you talking about hyperlocal marketing magic for nonprofits. So, today I'm excited to talk to you about some strategies for impactful community engagement. But first, I want to start by sharing a little bit about my journey and really how I got to this point of understanding the power of hyperlocal marketing and then being able to apply that to my nonprofit clients. So, first things first, if you don't know me, my name is Gabby Payne. I'm the Chief Brand Manager here at the Boss Blueprint Agency, and we work with nonprofits to help them grow their brand awareness and create deeper community with their clients. And so today, let's get into it, right? So, hyperlocal marketing magic. So, how did I come about this discovery of hyperlocal marketing? What is it? What does it mean? How does it work? Who does it work for? So first, we've got to go back a little bit. So if you've done any research on my profile, you know that I have a background in operations. And so one of the things I did when I worked in operations was I got my Six Sigma certification. And at the time, it was just such a novel idea to me. And the ideas that Six Sigma presents to you are super exciting. I had already studied some process improvement when I was studying abroad in Ecuador before graduating. I worked at Target and did some process improvement for them. And then once I graduated from college, I did all that when I graduated from college. It's all good. Once I graduated from college, I was actually able to further that through my full-time job. And so what I learned from Six Sigma, I thought, this is like novel. This is amazing. And more people should know about it. And so this was really in the beginning of Six Sigma. Keep that in mind. And so I said, this is what the local business owners need to know. The mom and pop needs to know. This is the information they need to know. So I started seeking to use social media as a way to connect to the local community and really pull them in. But what I learned about hyperlocal marketing then, and it hadn't really connected for me all the way through yet, but what I learned about it was that it's more than just posting on social media. And what actually needs to happen and what happens with hyperlocal marketing is you have these two worlds colliding. And unfortunately, for a lot of brands and a lot of nonprofits, you'll find that they operate one way online and one way offline, and that the two don't talk, the two don't connect, they don't feel interconnected, they don't feel the same. Maybe they don't have a dedicated person, and so it's just a lot of posts, and it's not really within the brand voice and the brand tone, and they're doing what they can. And so what I discovered was that if I could mesh what was happening offline to what was happening offline and vice versa, I could really start to build truly deep connections, because no matter what, no matter how many times you talk to a person through these screens, they never beat in-person communication. And so I did this for about a year and a half. And then someone said to me, you should do it for other people. And so my first two clients were a bookkeeper and a realtor, both of which at the time I had no idea were using hyperlocal marketing. And so what I learned is that hyperlocal marketing is super powerful for businesses and nonprofits alike. I want to share some examples with you. So I did a little research prior to this live, and I wanted to see what other companies have used hyperlocal marketing in the past. So one of my favorites, and probably one of your favorites too, is the Hershey Company. So they're based in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So amazing that a whole town is named after it, or maybe vice versa. And it really was a family business. When you look at the history of Hershey, it says that Milton Hershey's love started at a very young age, right? And they established the company in 1894. And by the 1900s, they had sold their first candy bar. But it took them galvanizing an entire community of people to really build this company, right? Same with IKEA. So this is a fun fact, and I didn't know this before doing this research, was that IKEA is named after the initials of the founder, and then the farm which he grew up on, which starts with an E, and then the village that he grew up in, which starts with an A. And so once again, you have this really, really deep connection to the local community. And as a result, people want to support something that can make them proud and something that connects deeper and has deeper meaning. And then they can push that emotion onto other people who may not have that same community connection, but can value what's being created as a result. One last example, Panda Express. And so Panda Express first opened in California, and it was opened by a couple who really felt like there weren't enough Chinese food options in America. Within 12 years, they were able to expand to airports. So this just goes to show you how quickly hyperlocal marketing can really take a company from very humble beginnings to very big things. And so what does this have to do with nonprofit? What I want you to understand is that hyperlocal marketing creates a deeper connection because it creates a deeper connection in the level of identity. And so a lot of times people heavily identify with where they live and where they're from. How many times have you seen someone in an airport, in a grocery store with your hometown team or your hometown school, and you were like, hey, so and so, hey, fellow Panther, right? It's that deep sense of belonging that we are in this thing together. And so that's why hyperlocal marketing is so much more powerful, because you're speaking directly to the needs, the interests, and the culture of one particular group of people who live in a certain place. Because if you're speaking to people all across America, you're talking different time zones, different weather from a day-to-day basis. And so things can be difficult sometimes to communicate across all of those different things, right? But if you wake up and it's sunny outside and you're in Washington, D.C., everyone in Washington, D.C. can agree that today is a beautiful day. But maybe if you're watching this and you're in Texas, in Florida, in Delaware, you might say, oh, it's not that nice outside. It's raining today. And so then there's that slight divide. And why is the small divide so essential? Because branding is all about trust. Branding is all about trust. It's all about, can I trust what you say? Can I trust that you understand me? Can I trust that you see where I'm coming from? And this is extremely important, especially in underrepresented communities where they've experienced being taken advantage of, where they're slow to trust. So hyperlocal marketing is a perfect solution when you think about nonprofits, because a lot of times you're working with a lot of at-risk people who have experienced the bad end of the stick. They've experienced putting trust in people that weren't really trustworthy when it comes down to it. And so you, as the program manager, as the executive director, it's extremely important that you get the trust, because you deserve the trust, and you really can't work as effective without it. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I decided to transition into nonprofit marketing, because I saw so much of a need, and I knew that the nonprofits around were doing all they could to reach the community. But sometimes they just don't have the tools. Sometimes they just don't have the connections. They don't know who are the right people to touch. And that is the work that I do. So what does this look like when it's all said and done? So just in working 3 to 4 months together, my clients have been able to see almost triple the reach. So 268% growth rate in terms of social media reach, 156% in conversions in terms of getting clicks to their website, and 3 partnerships. And these things don't come overnight, and they don't come by mistake. It's really about culturally competent messaging and truly understanding the community that you're a part of, understanding the power players, understanding how business is done, understanding how nonprofits are run in the area, and really being able to study your competitors who, luckily for you in the nonprofit world, partnership is so much more of a no-brainer than it is in the corporate world. really have an opportunity to leverage social proof to connect yourself with the right people. And so if you've been talking to your executive director about how you can really build a deeper relationship, or if you're an executive director and you've said to yourself, we really need to get deeper into the community. I love what we're doing. I love our programming. We have the money to do it, but we don't have the right relationships. I welcome you to take my needs assessment. And so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that link is dropped in the comments, just to make sure that you have access to it. And so you can click that link, put in your information, and immediately it'll respond back with the needs assessment. And the needs assessment is basically a walkthrough of your nonprofit's current performance. And it helps you not only to figure out what your needs are in terms of branding, but it also helps you to determine what is the priority of your needs. Because I'm sure for a nonprofit, you can say, oh, the list is long. Our needs are long. We've got so many people we want to help. And as a result, we have so many needs and so many things that we're seeking to accomplish. Well, what I want to help you do is not just figure out what those needs are, but help you identify the most essential needs. Help you identify the areas where you're really strong and the areas where you might need more support. And so you can use that as a resource. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me directly. So next week, I'm going to talk to you guys about furthering this conversation on hyperlocal marketing for nonprofits, and I cannot wait. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Go ahead and fill out the form. You'll get your needs assessment. And if you complete your needs assessment, you'll get another email requesting that you join a jumpstart call. And what I want to do is go further than just assessing your needs. I want to help you with a plan of action to actually addressing your needs. And so I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful, but I cannot wait to learn more about your organizations and work with you. Have a great day.